Hello children, a very warm welcome to the virtual session of chemistry. So let us see what are we going to do today. We will continue with the chapter acid, bases and salts, part 5. In the previous session we have learned properties of acids, we have seen some chemical properties of acid, we have seen some reactions, we have seen chemical equations of those reactions. And now today we are going to start with reactions of bases. Now chemical reactions of bases we are going to learn. As you know, we have already done the physical properties of bases. Some physical properties like how do you test the presence of bases with the help of litmus. So red litmus will turn blue in bases. That we have seen in indicators. Red litmus turns blue in the presence of bases, and we have seen indicator like phenolphthalein, a very specific prominent test with phenolphthalein indicator with the base. Few drops of phenolphthalein, the synthetic indicator, will give you pink color. That shows the presence of a base. Those are the physical properties of the bases we have learned. Bases are soapy to touch, bitter in taste, corrosive in nature, all that, and it will conduct electricity, all that physical properties we have already seen. Now today we will see chemical reactions of bases with different chemicals. We'll start with metals. So base, a general reaction of a base with metal will always gives you a metal salt plus hydrogen gas will be liberated. Now in this session you are going to write all the chemical reactions and equations and balance them. Balancing equation extremely important. So please take this down children. When a base sodium hydroxide react with metal zinc, the salt formation is sodium zincate. Na2ZnO2 is sodium zincate plus hydrogen gas will be given out. Like a base you have sodium hydroxide, again when you react with aluminium in the presence of water, it will give you sodium aluminate and hydrogen gas will be liberated. Test for hydrogen gas, how you will check the presence of hydrogen gas? As the gas liberate, you are going to hold your thumb on the mouth of the test tube and you have to bring it near the burning candle, and you release the gas with the pressure which you will feel on the thumb. You bring it near the mouth, you will bring mouth of the test tube, you will bring it near the burning candle, and when you release the pressure you will get the pop sound. That pop sound indicates the presence of hydrogen gas. This you will do it in practical and you will see yourself. You have to take down these reactions. Even if you have notes with you, you have already written, you have to write chemical equations, and balancing extremely important because that will be a reinforcement for you children. Please take it down. With non-metallic oxides, non-metallic oxide means oxides of non-metals, like for example carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, all that oxides of non-metal are called non-metallic oxides. And when you react, again you will get salt and water. So base plus non-metal oxide will give you salt and water. Here we have discussed example like calcium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide gives you calcium carbonate plus H2O will be formed. Water will be formed. So this reaction you are going to write it in your notebook children. Formation of calcium carbonate, because with this reaction we have already done. Calcium hydroxide is also called as slake lime or lime water. So we how this reaction we have done to check it's a confirmatory test for carbon dioxide. How do you check the presence of carbon dioxide gas? By passing through lime water, that is calcium hydroxide. So this is the same reaction which we have already done. Now we are learning under reaction of a base with non-metal oxides. You can add few more examples of your own and try this. Like you can try potassium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide. You can try sodium hydroxide plus sulfur dioxide. All that you can try and you will check salt and water will be the product. You have to take this down children in your book. Now what you have to see, what is a base and alkali in this concept. Since you are learning base, Now we will see what is alkali, how they are related. Do they have any difference or they are same? So we need to find what similarity and difference between base and alkali. We will study in depth. Alkali are those bases which dissolve in water and gives hydroxide ions in aqueous solution. So alkalis are those bases which dissolve in water, because all the bases will not dissolve in water. All the bases are not water soluble. This means water soluble bases are called as alkali. So there's alkali is a base. Alkali is a base and it's a water soluble base. So non-water soluble base which is not soluble in water, it is not called as alkali. So only water soluble base is called as alkali, and they will give hydroxide ions in aqueous solution. Here you have some example of alkali: potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, ammonium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide. So this will give you a clear difference between base and alkali. So alkali is also a base, but it's a water soluble base. Difference between alkali and base. This note is not there with you. You have to take it down in your notebook, children. Difference between a base and alkali. A proper differentiation we will do. What is a base? Base do not dissolve in water. The bases which not dissolve in water. Alkali, bases that dissolve in water are called alkali. All bases are not alkali. Mark this statement. All bases are not alkali and all alkali are bases. That means alkali comes under the category of bases. They are actually bases, but they are water soluble. Base, it neutralizes acid. It releases OH minus ions and accepts a proton. Basic difference you are seeing over here. And here proton means it will accept a hydrogen and then it will form H2O. Then example over here you have base zinc hydroxide, copper oxide. They are non-soluble, that's why they are not called as alkali, they will call as a base. Whereas potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, they are also base but they are water soluble, that's why they have a special name called alkali. So you have to take down these points of difference between them, children. Extremely important for your basic understanding of base and alkali. I hope you are making some points in your notebook, children, for you to keep a record of what you have learned in these video sessions. And some points will be repeated which you have already done in your notes which you have written. Or if you have not written, kindly take it down. It should be there in your notebook. Then some frequently asked questions we are going to discuss today. Are alkali and base the same? So we have seen the difference now, so you should be able to answer this. Typically, they are metal oxides, metal hydroxide, metal carbonates, and carbonates of molten hydrogen. So there are many bases that are insoluble, they are not dissolving in water. So bases are metal oxides, metal hydroxide, metal carbonates, and carbonates of molten hydrogen. That means they show basic behavior. They will not show acidic behavior. All these compounds will show basic behavior. So there are many bases that are insoluble. They are not dissolving in water. We call it an alkali if a base dissolve in water, which we have learned just now. Alkaline solution or intermediate is the same as a base or a simple solution. So it should be clear, are alkali and base the same? You know the answer. We have learned the differences between them. You take this down, children. Why bases are called alkali? In contact with water, alkali metal form alkali base, that is a base, and form metal oxide as water reacts. Alkali metal oxides are also bases, and when dissolved in water they form an alkaline solution during reaction with water. So during reaction with water, especially the group 2 metals in the periodic table also form bases, and their oxides are basic in nature and they are found in the earth crust. So you just need to understand this. We are coming in contact with water, alkali metal form a base. Like why bases are called alkali? Because they are water soluble first of all, and alkali metal oxides are also bases. When they dissolve in water they form an alkaline solution. this point is extremely important. You have to understand and write it in your notebook, children. Then which bases are called alkali? The bases that are water soluble are called alkalis. They are feeling soapy, sour. Most of the time it's bitter actually and corrosive in nature. Uh, so an alkali is a sort of foundation for um, to understand the basic concept of the base. So, for example, you have sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide. Uh, those are the basic foundation to understand the bases. So, sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide, they are water soluble bases. That means they are alkali. They are potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide. They are bases, but since they are water soluble, they are called as alkali. Now here you have a table, some common bases you have, which you already know. We will just go through it. Sodium hydroxide, NaOH, potassium hydroxide, KOH, calcium hydroxide, CaOH2, that is also called as slake lime or lime water. Magnesium hydroxide is an antacid, also called as milk of magnesia, that is magnesium, MgOH twice. And ammonium hydroxide is a mild base, a weak base, NH4OH. So you just need to go through this. Those are basic concepts which you have already learned. Different kind of bases which you have learned. So just go through this. Thank you, children. We will continue with the session. Continue with the same chapter in the next session, and we will see more chemical reactions, and we will see some more properties of the salts and the formation of salts and the different type of salts, their manufacturing process, properties, and uses in the next session. In my previous session, I showed you an app to for a virtual lab where you will have the experience of doing some chemical reactions of acid and bases, which you can easily do in your mobile. You can download the app called Beaker. I repeat, you can download the app Beaker to carry out some reactions which we are doing in this chapter, and you will get to see the when you will select some as substances, chemical substances, and you react them, you will get to see the reaction on the screen. You will get to see the changes happening in the reaction. You will actually see the chemical substances reacting, and I have already discussed with you in the previous session how it works. So please download the app Beaker to have some experience of a virtual lab of doing some chemical reactions. I hope you will try the app Beaker. Thank you, children. Have a wonderful day.